Okay, so step one, we're going to look at designing your own report. Let's very quickly take you through this so you can see what we mean by this and how it works. Now, People Maps is unique in that it lets you design your own reports. Personality, you see, affects every aspect of your life, but you only really want to read about the most pertinent elements. You don't want to know everything, you want to know what's pertinent, what's important. So the other thing is, of course, you don't want to have to pay for all that information that isn't of particular interest to you and this scenario. So People Maps provides you with an extensive library of topics to choose from. So you have a look through them and you pick around 5 to 10 topics to design your report. The more topics you select, of course, the more expensive the report. So keep your costs down by selecting around 5 topics. 3 is the actual minimum. Now, some topics are more relevant to certain roles than others. So for example, if we're looking at the recruitment library, then if the role is not a management role and the person will have no responsibility for subordinates, then there would be no point in including topics such as leadership or managing others. If it's a sales role, then there's other things you would want to know about, such as their sales style, cold calling, how do they respond to cold calling, is it something they can do, keeping and making appointments, rejection handling, results focus. These are things that are important to pretty much any sales role. And if you were hiring a salesperson, you'd really want to know that about the individual. So you don't want to have too many topics in a single report either, because it makes the report more expensive and less manageable. Each topic is about a page long, so you don't really want to be printing off 20-page reports, especially if you've got a lot of people to see and you're doing some things. So it's a good practice to really think about what you want to know about this particular scenario and this particular individual. You can design as many reports as you like, so remember that even if you're probably better to create 2 or 3 small designs rather than one large design. So have a think about that, think clearly about what it is you want, and we'll show you how you do that next time. Okay, so let's go over to the control room and look at how you do step 1 in practice. Let's look at step 1, which is how to design your own report. So here we are. When you log into your control room, first thing you'll see is the 5 steps here. And to complete a step, and you just need to complete the 5 steps in the order that they come in, you simply click on step 1. And you can read the detail about them here if you want. Click on step 1, step 2, but do them in the order and you'll get the complete experience, and it's really simple from there. Here's what happens when we click on step 1. You'll be taken to this page here, which essentially in your menu is Order Reports, Design a New Report. And this is the first step, and we've already explained why it's so important and it's unique to People Maps. What you now need to do is have a look through the extensive library. There's about, in this library, this is the recruitment library. You may be looking at a slightly different library if you're looking at the management application or the coaches application. But in the recruitment one here, there's quite a lot of topics, and you have to pick, I would say, between 5 and 10 at the most topics to design your own report. So have a think about what it is you're doing, what it is you want to know, and then pick those topics. So you can see here, it tells you, so if the cold calling is an issue, then you want to know what's this person like when it comes to cold calling. If they're dealing with customers, then you want to know is this person customer focused? How are they when they're dealing with customers? Do they have to delegate? Then you want to know, how do they delegate? What are they like? Are they any good at delegating? This is what the personality report will tell you, but you design your own. There's a lot of topics here, so you have to make some choices, and I say 5 is a good number, 10 at the most. If you want to see what the topic actually look like, you don't even need to use up any of your credits. You simply can click on View Sample beside any of these, and it will show you exactly what a sample, if you like, of each of the topics. So here's the one for communication, and it will show you exactly what the topic's laid out like. So a report is an assembly of 5 to 10 topics, and you decide which ones you want to go in. What do you want to know about the individual? And that's essentially the process. It's very straightforward from there in. Once you've picked, let's just pick 3 here, so we'll pick these 3. Over here, all we're doing is determining what order we want these. So I'll put that one first, I'll put this one second, and I'll put this one third. You can choose what order you want to display them in, and then we simply click Add. And once we've done that, you'll see those 3 topics appearing here, and now it's time to give it a name. So you designed the report, you decide what you want to call it. So usually I would suggest you call it something similar to the job role or something that's relevant to you and your world. For this example, I'm just going to call it a test, and then all we need to do at that point is press Save. And you'll see it'll come up with the message that your report has been saved. And it's having a big think about things. Okay, so there we go. So now you're taken into this here, and if you've this is your first one, you'll just see the one here. So here we go, today's date, there's the report name that I just created, and you'll see that the status is in development. And this is because you may want to have a look at it a couple of times. You may want to view a sample, so you can just view it. You're not using any credits, this is not costing you anything. You can actually see, what do these 3 topics look like when you put them all together, and is this really all that you need, and is that all you want? And maybe you think, oh, actually I would like to add one more, I forgot about that. Well, then you simply go into Edit, you repeat the process, you add the other topic or remove a topic, and you'll come back to this page again. And then once you're finally happy that this is the topic design that you actually want, this is the report design you actually want, you simply click Make Ready. It'll ask you if you're sure, so it gives you plenty of time to actually muck about, play about with it, think it through. There's no cost for any of this. This is the other thing that's unique to people apps. You're not charged to design these reports. You design what you want. You're only ever charged when you're actually using and reading reports about individuals. So there's no charge, so there's no penalty for designing as many reports as you like, and I encourage you to do so. So there we are. We have now designed your own first report, and you can look at that when you go into Order Reports. And if you actually want to order a report to look at free trial, when you click on Order Reports, you'll see there's the one we just created there, and it's actually in your system now. And that's you created your first report.